Hi, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our ACE Healing Circle. So, ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And I'm Nilofer Safdar, and I'm so honored that you've chosen to be here today, showing up for your healing with such courage and intention. Now, before we begin, I want you to know that this is a sacred space. What we share here stays here. And actually, you don't need to share. That's the beauty of this whole process. You don't even need to say a single word, and healing will happen. Now, setting up for success. First, let's make sure that you have what you need for this session. So please keep a pen and paper handy. We'll be doing some gentle journaling together, and also a glass of water, or even maybe a bottle of water, because hydrating is so important during energy work. It helps our bodies release old patterns and toxins with ease. So think of water as your ally in letting go tonight. Now, this session is being recorded and may be used for educational or promotional purposes on YouTube and social media platforms. By choosing to stay in the session, you acknowledge and give your consent to be included in the recording. If you're not comfortable being visible or identifiable, you're welcome to keep your camera off and change your display name as needed. Your healing and privacy are fully respected here. Now, take a moment to get comfortable. Feel your feet on the floor, your body supported by your chair. And let's take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, tonight, we are gathering to explore how our childhood experiences, particularly adverse childhood experiences or ACEs, may still be influencing our health, our relationships, and our sense of safety in this world. I want you to know that there is no judgment here. Whatever you experienced as a child was not your fault, and whatever is showing up in your life now, whether it's chronic illness, anxiety, relationship issues, or feeling stuck, we are here to gently begin the process of releasing these old patterns. Now, your nervous system has been protecting you in the only way it knew how. So, tonight we are actually going to thank it for keeping you safe and gently show it new ways to feel secure and peaceful. So, are you ready to begin this journey together? Put a heart in the comments. Okay. So, let us start by understanding what are adverse childhood experiences. Okay. So, adverse childhood experiences, or they are called as ACEs, ACE, are stressful or traumatic events that occur during childhood, potentially impacting a child's development and health. Now, basically, they come from three different places. The first one is abuse, which is physical, sexual, and emotional mental abuse. The second comes from neglect, which comes from physical and emotional neglect. Third comes from household dysfunction, which is exposure to violence, substance abuse, mental illness, or an incarceration in the family. And then the fourth one is coming from experiencing bullying, poverty, and even, grief. Like if you lose a very close family member, like a parent or something, even that could come under an adverse childhood experiences. Now, for some people, adverse childhood experiences are very, very clear. Like, you may have gone through these things, but for a lot of people, they are at a very subtle level, hidden deep within your psyche. You're not even aware of it, but it's, kind of directly or indirectly it is actually impacting your whole life. It impacts your physical health, it impacts your relationships, it impacts everything. Like, the tightness in your body, everything, you know. So, last week, in the session on physical dis-ease, I kind of just, gently mentioned this. Like, I spoke about adverse childhood experiences, and that's how this session came about. So, typically, if you are working with a long-standing physical chronic issue, then it takes about a year, almost a year or a little bit less or more, for you to be able to release all the ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, which are holding that illness in place. Like, many times when I work with people who have physical health conditions, and I ask them, what was going on in your life at that time, they may have had an incident, excuse me, occur at that time. But oftentimes, that incident is just like a trigger. Like, it's that straw that broke the camel's back, but its roots lie way back in childhood. And it could also be not in this lifetime, it could be coming from some other lifetimes as well. So it doesn't really matter, where it's coming from. It doesn't even matter if you can remember it or not, because the process that we do, TAT, which stands for Tapas Acupressure Technique, it's so beautiful. It just goes to the root and it handles it. Okay. So typically in a session, we can expect to work on one ACE, one childhood, adverse childhood experience, like one memory, one incident that you can remember. Okay. Because if you try and work on a lot all at once, it leads to a healing crisis. Like you can have too much stuff which is, kind of right now buried under the carpet come up, and it's difficult for you to handle it. So we kind of go very, very gently. And especially with ACEs and people who have experienced severe abuse and trauma, I have found that even, looking at it directly can, bring it up in a very intense way. So I like to work, in an indirect manner with these ACEs. Okay. So now, when I talk about adverse childhood experience, so today we are only going to work with one, okay? Even though you may have like a lot of stuff come up and you're welcome to write it down, but for today's session, just look at one, because I don't want you to go in a state of overwhelm after this session. I want you to actually have space in your mind, space in your body after this session. I want you to go away feeling more relaxed in your body, feeling this space in your mind after this session today. Okay? Does anyone have any questions that you want to ask?
I have a question
Sure, go ahead.
just right here. So I didn't really have a bad childhood that I can remember. I do remember that I was afraid of my mom a bit, and she could do things and say things that would make me feel um, stupid, if that makes dumb, embarrassed, that kind of stuff. But when I really think about my childhood, because I started thinking what was so bad in my childhood, for right now, only one thing I can think of, is she used to, yell at us a lot. Would that be something and say demeaning things in her way?
Yeah.
Is that something?
So great question, Shifran. I'm so glad you asked this question. So, when people hear about this, they typically think, oh, I should have had, like, only if someone has had any a history of abuse or trauma or something, it constitutes as an adverse childhood experience. But, things like this, if your mom was screaming at you all the time, and it kind of it's sticky for you, or you when you work on something and suddenly you will have a memory pop up about your childhood and things like that, so that's an adverse childhood experience. And I
Okay.
because you've been working with me for a long time, and in some of the sessions, we do a session and then you will suddenly remember something that your mom said or your dad said in your childhood. So that kind of becomes an adverse childhood experience.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. Good question. Thanks for asking, Shifra. So now
You're welcome.
what I want you to do,
Before
um, yes,
I
Payal.
would
Can I
like to
add
ask.
to what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah. So I would encourage you just raise your hand using the thing, and I'll call out, because then, yeah, go ahead, Payal.
Okay, so childhood, like I'm 50 plus now. So like childhood could even be when we are like 20, 22. Because same thing like what the other lady said that, childhood, I don't have too much memory. But when I
Mhm.
was in my 20s and after marriage, I have a lot of traumatic experiences.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
would
the whole.
that also
Yeah,
be
yeah. You can take up that.
fine?
Anything that is bringing up an emotional charge for you, anything which is sticky for you, you can take up something like that. Yeah, for sure. Anita, go ahead.
Thank you, Nilu. Uh, I had a similar experience where there was a physical abuse by my mom for being strict because she wanted me to be disciplined.
Hmm.
So, although I had worked on many forums, I'm not sure whether there is a charge or not. And
Hmm.
currently, I'm not sure whether it is creating a kind of physical health issue right now.
Okay, so never mind. I've not, given instructions about the session yet. So
Mm.
just hold on, let me give the instructions, then you can ask if you still have a question. Divorce, yeah, if that is something which is sticking you, for sure. Okay. So now what I want you to do is, if you think about your life, and is there any incident, any situation in your past which is bothering you? And when I say bothering you, do you have like an emotional charge around it? Uh, you know, Irritation, upset, sadness, anger, grief, whatever it is, you can take that. It has to be just one incident, okay? Now, let me kind of give you the difference between like an event and an incident, okay? So, for example, divorce, it's like a big thing, right? But the incident could be like maybe one particular fight you had with your spouse in that whole process of divorce. So, if possible, try to go into the tiny details and get those tiny little things. Because if you take the big one, it's too big for us to work in a session. Okay. Uh, for that, you would have to work more, right? But for today's session, let's take a small one. Let's take something small. As in, the charge may be really intense for you, but it could be just one particular incident that occurred. You know, Maybe your parent locked you in a dark cupboard or something like that, so you can take up one incident. Okay. Now if you can't remember any incident like that, then what I would suggest is look at what's going on in your life right now, like which is the biggest thing that is bothering you right now. Take that particular thing, and then I will give you cues of how you can go to the root of it. You may not reach the root of it right now, but we can at least go a little bit backwards and find where that thing, uh, you know, find it somewhere in your past where it could have been triggered. Okay. So everyone has an incident. If you don't have something and you want my help in identifying, then just raise your hands. Yes, Sagari, go ahead.
When you mentioned a particular incident came up
Mm-hmm.
from child
Mm-hmm.
where I was pretty scared,
Okay.
but back now I don't have any charge on it. So would I still work with that or not?
So now think about that incident. You don't have a charge about it, then don't take it. Take
Oh,
something on which you have charge.
okay, okay.
But the
Thank you.
chances are that if some incident has popped, there is some charge around it. That's why
Uh,
you remember it. Because things
yeah,
which have no charge, you won't even remember it. It won't
yeah,
even come up in this
yeah.
conversation.
That is why, I mean, when I think back on it, it doesn't seem to be very important. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted
then
to.
then then don't take something like that. Take something which is more relevant to you. Like look at something which is going on in your life right now, and then try to find something in the past which could be triggering this.
So, something like a physical issue, you mean?
Anything.
Oh,
Physical, mental, emotional, anything. You can pick out anything.
thank you.
Okay. So, so does everyone have something that they can work on today? And if you don't have, then look at a current issue that you're going through. Okay. And now, what is the biggest thing that led up to that issue? I want you to just do some journaling on it. Okay. What is the biggest thing that led up to that issue? And just write down whatever comes up for you.
I'm sorry. Um, what does it mean? The consequences? What in what this resulted in? Or what do you mean?
It just means it doesn't mean anything actually. For example, do you mind sharing what your issue is?
Um, I didn't manage to run home and was peeing in my tights. And I was ashamed and had to wash my tights on my own.
Mhm.
And it was a guilt and a shame. It still stuck. And
Okay, good. So you have your issue then. You
yes,
have your guilt and shame. So you don't
yes,
worry
guilt and
about the
shame.
other. Don't worry about the other thing. Only look at what is current for you. Okay, fantastic. So we are going to use a process called as TAT, which is tapas acupressure technique. Okay. And in a minute, I'm going to demonstrate three different versions of the TAT pose. Now, why I love this particular process is because it uses the body and it uses the mind. A lot of time with a lot of modalities we work with, we are only working with the mind. So it's almost like, that thing, have you seen a headless chicken running all around? Or, a walking head on a stick. So most of the time we are pretending to be a walking head on a stick. We ignore our bodies. But what this does is it also includes our body. Because when we have thoughts, feelings, emotions, points of views, everything, they not only have a mind component, they also have a body component. They are also stuck in our bodies. Like if you were there on last week's call, or if you have heard the replay of last week's call, someone was talking about knee pain. And then we didn't even address the knee pain directly, but we addressed one of the beliefs she had of, like, I'm not good enough or something like that. And once we cleared that, her knee pain vanished, right? So, what it proves is that all these thoughts, feelings, emotions are actually stuck in our body. So, what the tapas acupressure technique does is it's a beautiful marriage of, the mind body connection. So, we are not only clearing things from the mind, we are also clearing them from the body. And that's why there is such a profound transformation that occurs. Okay. So we are going to go through the TAT process. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that we are sitting in a circle. Whether you're watching this live, whether you're going to watch the replay, imagine that we all are sitting in a circle. And in the middle of the circle, there is a pot, and we are going to put all our issues into the pot. So whatever you have written down or whatever you remember, mentally put it in the pot. And that's the beauty of it, because all of us together are working collectively on everyone's issues. So it's like the collective energy, and it's just going to clear up very fast. Okay, so put everything in the pot. And as we go through the session, whatever keeps coming up for you, you don't even have to talk about it. You can just keep putting everything in the pot. Okay. So everyone put all your stuff into the pot. Okay. And now I'm going to explain the tat pose. The first way of doing the tat pose is your ring finger and your thumb. You're going to hold it like this. And the middle finger comes to the middle of your forehead like this. Okay. And the other hand goes to the back. This is one way of doing the pose. Okay. Don't worry if you didn't get it. The second way of doing the pose is just hold one hand here and one hand at the back of the head. And it doesn't matter which hand is in front, which hand is at the back, because we are going to keep switching. That's because our hands have polarity. Like the right hand is negative, which is feminine. The left hand is positive, which is masculine. So we'll keep switching the hands. So we keep switching the polarities as well. Okay. And when we hold our hands in the pose, what we are doing is, and we are thinking about certain things, it allows a discharge to occur in your meridian system. And that's where the body is coming into play. Okay. And the third way of doing it is, you can also hold it touching your face, or you can hold it away from your face. And the third way of doing it is imagine yourself like this in front of you. Imagine your head between the hands and do this. So any of these three work. Okay. So that's, I hope the tat pose is clear to everyone. Okay, now let us begin the session, and we are going to begin with something called as stopper thoughts. Stopper thoughts are these thoughts which go in our mind saying that, we're doing this, but it's ridiculous, it's not going to work, all of that. So we're going to address those thoughts right in the beginning. Okay, so everyone put your hands in the pose, and I will say the stopper thoughts. This will never work for me. This protocol is too easy to be of any value. It might work for other people, but not for me. This issue is too big for this protocol to help. Nothing can change this. Nothing else has worked for this, and this protocol won't either. Now switch your hands. So the hand which was at the back comes to the front and vice versa. And here we are setting the intention for the session. This healing is on behalf of me, my family, my ancestors, all the parts of me, my conscious and subconscious mind, all the points of views I've ever held, every manifestation of my being in all times and all dimensions, all beings involved, and all beings who would like to benefit from this healing. This healing will happen safely and easily. And switch your hands. This protocol is easy and could work and be of great value. I now choose to accept life, love, help, and healing. And just relax your hands. Now, if you notice, I hold each position for between 30 seconds to 1 minute. And basically, you hold the position till you feel like an energetic discharge occurring. And this will happen either, you will sigh, you will burp, you will yawn, or even you have tears running down your eyes, or you may experience some rumbling in your tummy. And if you have none of these, you can just go by 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay. Any of those will work. Okay. So now, everything that you have written down, let's put it in the pot. And whatever is in the pot, everyone who is watching this live and in the future, whatever everyone has put in the pot, we are going to call it as this. So when I say this, it means everything that is in the pot. Okay. So now put your hands in the pose. This is step one. Everything that led up to my resonating, identifying, and connecting with this happened. Switch your hands. This happened. It's over. I'm okay. And I no longer resonate, identify, or connect with this. And relax. Now, I forgot to ask you to do this. Whatever you have written down, what is the emotional charge for it? Just post it in the comments. What is on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 means maximum intensity, 0 means no intensity? What is the intensity of your emotional charge around that event, around that situation? 8, okay. 10, all right. Just pop it in the chat, or, just keep it whatever for you. All right. For anyone, anybody has anything which has come up for you that you want to share, just feel free, unmute yourself and talk. Anybody wants to share? And you don't
I'll
have,
share.
yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, Shifra, go ahead.
Okay, so I wrote it down. So my mother used to talk to me really mean.
Mm-hmm.
She used to get this tone with me that was just so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And she would talk to me mean and act mean towards me. And what it did was like I would freeze, like my whole body and mind would freeze, and I can't think. It's still to this day until we just started working on this. I would just freeze. My mind stops. My whole being just stands there in like this shock.
Okay.
And
So hold on a minute, Shifra. So when you think about your mom talking mean to you right now, how does it feel?
really belittling, very belittling.
Yeah,
Just
and
really like
is your body still going into the freeze?
it's not freezing because we just did a little bit of the work, so it was a 10 when we started, but now it feels just like I can feel it in my shoulders. They feel very tight.
Mm-hmm.
My neck, literally, when we just did that, just started to itch. So I
Mm-hmm.
know it was starting to release some things in my neck,
Mm-hmm.
but my shoulders feel very tight. My core feels tight. I even feel sometimes I hold on to it in my thighs. Literally, my body will freeze when somebody talks to me mean or acts mean towards me. And it has to be in an ugly tone,
Okay.
very
Okay.
condescending like.
Okay. So all of that, let's put it in the pot. Put your hands in the pose. Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with all this happened? Switch your hands. All this happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now. And I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this. And relax. So, how does that feel?
So I feel better. My shoulders don't feel as tight. I'm probably down to a 7. I
Mhm.
did hear my mom say, she's on the other side, I apologized. And I said back, you did. I still held on to it. I mean, she apologized in my older adult life.
Mhm.
I I just didn't realize that till today that yeah, I still freeze.
Yeah. So the apology, it doesn't land in your body, it lands in your mind, and it's almost like it gets disregarded. And when you mean the other side, you mean your mother has passed away. Yes?
Right. I'm in on the other side of that veil.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So it's like a really old thing which she probably said and she forgot all about it, but you're still carrying it in your system. Okay.
Body.
Okay. So let's do one more round of it. Put your hands in the pose. Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with this happened. Switch your hands. All this happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now. And I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this. And relax. So, how does it feel now, Shifra?
About a 3. And I think as we continue going on with the rest of, it's just going to keep releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot. Yeah, about a 3 or 4. I'm going to say 3 or 4.
Okay. And how does your body feel?
Lighter. It's just in my forearms feel very heavy. I
Okay.
don't know why. It went from my neck to my shoulders to my forearms feel very heavy.
Yeah. And you will find this typically as we are doing a session together, the pain or the stiffness or whatever it is, it moves from one part to the other. But as we keep working, it will go away. Okay. Anybody else
And lots of
wants to speak?
watery eyes and yawning.
Yeah, good.
Thanks.
And
Well,
drink some water.
I would like to say something.
Sure, go ahead, Camelia.
Yeah, I put the incident I had with my father. I wanted to, when I was 14, I wanted to go to my grandmother. I don't remember why. And he didn't let me. And when I was at the door, he slapped me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I also was freezed now, but after we were working, I felt so much sadness and so much disappointed. I was disappointed in him, in probably in men.
Okay. Okay. So right now, what are you feeling?
I still feel this sadness. This is, I don't know, like it's without a goal, useless, something like that.
Okay. So, where do you feel the sadness in your body? Is it inside
In
your body? Is it outside your body?
No, I feel in my body,
Mm-hmm.
next to my solar plexus, little bit on the right.
Okay. And if this sadness were to have a shape, what would the shape be?
A circle.
Okay. What's the color of the circle?
Dark, almost black.
Almost black. What is the texture?
It's like a black hole.
Black hole. Okay.
Yes.
Does it have a smell to it?
No.
Okay. All right. And what number would you give it on a scale of 0 to 10?
10.
10. Okay. So
Yeah.
put your hands in the pose. Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with this sadness happened. Switch your hands. This sadness happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now, and I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this sadness. And relax. How is it now?
Still there.
What number?
Maybe 9, but it went deeper.
It went deeper. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Now
it's like
what?
sinkhole.
Like a
Sinkhole, you
like a
know?
sinkhole. Okay.
Yeah.
What is a thought that came up for you around the sadness? Can you identify a thought?
How could he?
How could he? Okay, put your hands in
Yeah.
the pose. How could he? Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with this happened. Switch your hands. How could he? This happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now, and I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this. And relax. Now, how is it?
The power of the whole completely is lost.
Mm-hmm.
Everything now came to my mind, and the sadness is still in the mind, but the
Sadness.
whole is empty.
Okay, so the whole went away from your body. The sadness
Yeah,
is in your mind. Where is your mind? Inside your body, outside your body?
inside my body.
Where in your body? Point it out.
In the front where the forehead is.
It's in the forehead?
Yes.
Okay, good. So put your hands in the pose once again. Okay, and what is the thought now?
Uh, it's like a disappointment. I don't have thought, but just,
So you're
you know,
disappointed
yes,
with your dad?
disappointed in humanity and something like that.
Okay, and how old are you?
14.
No, how old
14.
are you right now as you're feeling the disappointment? The person who is feeling the disappointment, how old is she? How old is Camelia who is feeling the disappointment?
Still 14.
Are you sure it's 14 or earlier?
No, it's 14. I remember 13, 14.
No. So that's what.
Aha, you mean disappointment.
Yeah.
Uh,
So how old is Camelia who is feeling disappointment?
Small one.
How many years?
6, 7.
6, 7. Okay. So put
Yeah.
your hands in the pose. Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with this happened. Switch your hands. This happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now. And I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this. And relax. So now, how is that Camellia feeling, the 6-year-old Camellia?
It's strange. I always had this feeling of why humans are doing this to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, it's when I was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed in my body, in my stomach,
Yeah,
in me.
exactly. So how is that 6-year-old Camellia feeling now?
A little bit much better because I know that I'm not the guilty part.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
was
good.
blaming myself for this, and now it's it's not mine.
Exactly, exactly. So good, good. Okay, thank you, Camellia. Vandana, you had
Thank you.
something?
I just wanted to check, Nilufer, that while other people are being facilitated, our own thing is also happening, our
Yeah,
own issue.
as I'm leading people through their thing, you need to put your hands in the pose and follow along. So when you do that, then what happens is automatically, your see our system is beautiful. It's very elegant. It knows, what is where. So in the pot, we have put in one issue. So it's going and it is finding all the different connections from different places. So as you follow along, it's also pulling up stuff for you and whatever. So, like, you will find that as we go through these sessions, the best way to check is how do you feel in your body? You know, does your body feel more relaxed as we progress through the session? That's
Yes, it's like that. But I
that's
have burning and acidity here.
right.
Issue is that my ex-husband, he left me for another woman when my daughter was 6 months old. And I found out while I was pregnant that he was having this affair. He denied it. And
Hmm,
then one fine day, he just walked out on us.
hmm,
And I had left my job and everything because we actually discussed that I'd be, give dedicated time to my daughter. And then he just left me high and dry.
hmm. So, did this burning come up for you during the session, or did
No,
you have
actually,
it before?
I think I had it before.
Okay, okay. So it's okay. So when you now think about your husband leaving you, what is your charge around it?
Sense of abandonment, and that the biggest thing that I put in my head was that my life is destroyed, because after that I've not been able to pick up the pieces. And every relationship I've had after that, which is two, uh, the man cheated on me. And then after that, I decided no more relationships, and then I got cheated financially. So it was just by my business partner. So then it just, and because I just decided my life is destroyed,
Hmm.
you know?
So your thought in your head right now is my life is destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so put your hands in the pose.
A nice, happy life, and suddenly he just like shattered it.
Yeah. So everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with my life is destroyed happened. Switch your hands. My life is destroyed, happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now. And I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with this. And relax. So, how does that feel?
Sighing lighter.
Lighter. Is your acidity a little bit better?
It is, and I kind of had a realization that I've created a lot despite his going away. It's not like totally destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that, what you uncovered is that one thing that my life is destroyed, and that's kind of like a thing which is running your life, right? And then the other thing,
Keep on destroying them. I get
yeah,
a job in 3 months, I
yeah.
leave.
And then because you're continuously saying my life is destroyed, so that's what is happening, right? And then the other thing is that cheating. He cheated me. And so that's another belief that you're functioning from. So then you will create that
Fear
not
of
in a
abandonment.
relationship, then in some other area. So for you and for anybody, who has like a big thing like that going on, okay, let me give you, this is like a journal prompt, and this is meticulous work that you do on yourself every single day. Right now, I spoke about it in other sessions also. Imagine that your issue is like a dense forest, right? And every time we do a session, we are cutting one tree. And you may feel, oh my God, this forest is so huge. What is cutting one tree going to do? But you're meticulously cutting one tree at a time, one tree at a time, one tree at a time. And there will come a time at which, when you have cut enough trees, then suddenly the whole forest will disappear. Okay. But you need to work on yourself. So what you do is you take a paper and you draw a circle in the center, and you can write down, like for in your case, you can write down divorce. Okay. And then around this, keep making smaller circles and write down everything which is related to this. So you can write down, I left my job and I never really recovered. you know my life is destroyed. My two relationships have this, and then I got cheated, I feel abandoned. And write down these. And then every day, just pick anything from that paper, any one thing, and go through the process with it. And as you're going through the process, some more stuff is going to surface, right? So right now, everything is like under the carpet, well hidden. So on the face of it, everything looks good, but it's creating a mess in your life. Like your body is in a different state. I'm not talking about you particularly. I'm just generally talking
Yeah,
about how these things work. So the body is going through chronic health conditions. Relationships are not working. uh, you know your mind, you're in a state of uh,
financial issues, or everything becomes
yeah, everything. So and
landmass.
some areas may be more, some areas may be less, okay? But everything. So keep working on this. Like I would recommend everyone get a diary and keep writing down stuff. Like my mom is sitting here, and as we are doing the process, she keeps writing, 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 because all this stuff is coming up. The good news is you can just take everything, put it in the pot, to whatever extent it gets. But sometimes, for certain things, you will have to specifically work on those things. So go ahead and do that. But slowly but surely, as you continue to do this, you will feel a sense of space. You will feel a sense of lightness. You will be calm and peaceful most of the time. And then sometimes you will get triggered, and most of the time you will, and it's there, it's available to you. Just keep going, okay?
So, Nilufer, quickly, thank you for that. I have to first say that base statement that you say that this is too big and it can't happen, and then do the TAT
Yeah,
process.
so I have the entire process on a Google Doc,
Okay.
which I have shared before, and I will share again with everybody. And the steps of TAT are in the Google Doc. Okay?
So what I was doing till now, because I just joined last week, I'm just going through all your videos and doing it like
Yeah,
as
yeah, so if you just pick one video every day and follow along, that's great too.
okay.
You can
Thank
just,
you.
watch one video every day and it works.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Sagari, did you have something to say?
Yes, as Vandana was speaking about this acidity thing,
Hmm.
I started sensing the same thing in my body as well. So I
Hmm.
just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, so is that yours?
No.
Okay, good. So never mind.
Okay. I should have asked that question first. Thank you.
Okay, so
I would like to say something. I feel like I deserve to be punished for the things which I did. I feel guilty.
okay, good. So let's take that. Put your hands in the pose. Everything that led up to my identifying, resonating, and connecting with I deserve to be punished happened. Switch your hands. I deserve to be punished happened. It's over. I'm okay. I can relax now. And I no longer identify, resonate, and connect with I deserve to be punished. And relax. How is it now?
I feel good.
Okay, so it's reduced. Shifra, you wanted to say something very quickly.
Really quickly, I just want to say I did the divorce thing that you suggested. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was for Vandana, if I say the name right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was healing. That was quick. That was quick. I did my big circle of divorce, and then all the feelings that came up around the divorce, no help, lonely, um, scared, frozen, angry. Uh, I got high blood pressure during all that. It was really
So,
interesting.
yeah, so Shifra, I want to actually point out something for you. Have you worked on this issue before, divorce?
The divorce? No,
You
that was
haven't?
really powerful.
Okay, you haven't. So, but if you haven't worked on it, then I would encourage you to keep working on it. Like, just look at it, and pick out one or two things on it and then work on those. Because, likely those are the things which were really suppressed deep down. And then one layer of it, you got relief today, but then there's a lot more there. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go through all the steps of TAT really quickly because we have just 6 more minutes till the end of the hour. I might go 10 minutes over, but let's complete the steps and then go on. Okay, put your hands in the pose. So now, whatever keeps coming up for you, just keep putting it into the pot, and everywhere I say this, it refers to everything that is in the pot that everyone has put in now and in the future. Okay? Put your hands in the pose. And for those who have just joined, if you're not sure, just put one hand in front of your eyes, one hand behind your head like that. Okay? So all the places in my mind, body, and life where this has been stored are healing now. Switch your hands. All the origins of this are healing now. Switch your hands. All the communications and connections related to this are completing now. And relax. And if you have water, just drink some water. Now, the next 3 steps are the forgiveness steps. So once again, put your hands in the pose. I forgive everyone who hurt me related to this and wish them love, happiness, and peace. Switch your hands. I apologize to everyone I hurt related to this and wish them love, happiness, and peace. Switch your hands. I forgive everyone I blamed for this, including God and myself. And just relax. Okay. So in between, just keep drinking water as and when you require. Okay, put your hands in the pose. All the parts of me that have been involved in this are healing now. Switch your hands. Whatever is left about this is healing now. And just relax. Now, till here, it was us just, going delete, 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 like we are releasing all the stuff which is there. Now is the place at which we kind of do a choice. We make a choice, okay? So what would you like to choose? Anybody would like to share? So your choice statement can be something like, I choose to have uh, love, health, and healing. Okay, it could be. I choose to be peaceful no matter what is going on around me. I choose to be happy and healthy. You can have whatever choice statement that you want. Yes, Vandana.
Can one make a choice like I choose to be in a loving, healing relation or loving, contributing relationship now?
Yes, yes, for sure. So the choice statement is actually like an affirmation. You can write an affirmation. And the beauty of this is that when you hold your hands in the pose and you say your affirmations, they become even more powerful. Because, when you say that affirmation, and if you have tail enders coming up, tail enders are like, I choose to be in a healthy, contributive relationship. But then, there's this little voice at the back of your head going, but you've had 3 relationships and they all cheated you and they left you, right? So, that thing is getting handled when we are holding the tat pose. So all that stuff, which is that little voice at the back of the mind, it's getting handled. Okay. So that's why it's really beautiful. So for whatever issues you are working on, just make up an affirmation, make up a question. What would it take for me to have a happy, healing, contributive relationship? You know, uh, who or what can I be or do different to have a happy, healing, contributive relationship, right? What if I could have a happy, healing, contributive relationship? Like, you can choose whatever you would like, like make up a statement for you. And you can make up multiple statements, okay? And what I would recommend is make up a choice statement which is of value to you. Like for Vandana right now, considering the divorce, that thing is of value. Like that is something that you really want. You know, if you say, I choose to have world peace, honestly, is that really personal? Is it of value to you? So choose something which is very connected to what you are going through right now. So for me, it's like I choose to be at peace no matter what is going on around me. This is one which has a lot of value to me, right? So if some of you would like to share your choice statements in the comments, then what I will do is I will include those choice statements. Otherwise, I have a few choice statements written out which I can just go through.
Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
I choose to have a warm, healthy, and open relationship with men.
I choose to have a warm, healthy, and open relationship with men. Okay, good one. Okay. So don't speak it, just type it in the comments so that I can, just read it out. I'm going to read out a few generic ones which I have. And then, I will read out some of the ones that you have mentioned. Okay. So put your hands in the pose. I choose wisdom, awareness, and intuition. I choose to be in true allowance of everything and everyone and their choices. I choose to be happy 24/7. I choose awareness in each and every choice that I make. I choose to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. I choose to be happy and carefree. And relax, and let me pull up the chat and okay, put your hands in the pose. I choose to see the truth. I choose to be compassionate. I choose to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. I choose to have ease, joy, good health, and fun. I choose to be in a loving, contributive relationship. I choose to live fully in the moment. Relax. And what I would say is make up your own, make up something which is of value, make up a statement about something which is of value, and typically make up a statement about, your issue. Like, for example, she was writing about divorce, and then I choose to have an open, loving, contributive relationship. So that kind of brings it together. Okay. So now we're going to end it with the integration step. So put your hands in this pose. This healing is completely integrated now with my grateful thanks. Switch your hands. This healing is completely integrated now with my grateful thanks. And now, relax and put your fingers on your ears like this, like so. This healing is completely integrated now with my grateful thanks. And relax. So, anybody would like to share like what has opened up for you through this session today? Anyone wants to share? Feel free.
Yes, I had interesting body sensations, especially now in the integration. I had all over goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Was really
And do you feel more relaxed in your body than when we began? Do you
yes.
feel that space in your mind?
I feel space, and I had it honestly headache. The headache is gone.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And please drink a lot of water because we are working in a group, so the group energy is really powerful. Lots of things will get cleared for you, and it's good to flush out all those patterns and toxins, space and relaxed. Thank you. Okay, so what we've shared together is like the tip of an iceberg, right? So if you're feeling called to go deeper into your ACE healing journey, adverse childhood experiences, it just covers just about everything, any kind of experiences which have triggered you to have those emotional intensities which are still stored in your body. We call it as ACE. So if you feel called to go deeper into your healing journey, to work through these patterns one-on-one in a completely safe, personalized space, you can reach out to me. In our work together, as you saw me facilitating Camellia and Shifra, where, I pick out what is going on for you, and then we kind of follow the thread, uh, and we just go and get to the root of it. So she's always had this feeling of being disappointed in the world, and it dated back to her childhood when she was 6 years old. She doesn't even have a memory of it. That's what typically happens. So if you feel called to go deeper with this healing, you can just message me personally, and we can see how we can go forward with this. Next week, I am going to talk about mastery. And, mastery is in terms of spiritual masters. Think, the spiritual masters who have walked the earth, like Jesus Christ and all the ascended masters, and, how we can have that mastery. And I'm also going to talk about what are some of the roadblocks. And there are 5 of them which stop us from claiming that mastery which is available to all of us. So that is next week. Thank you, everyone, for being with me today. And I will see you next week. There is a playlist on YouTube in which I put all the Healing Circle replays. So if you go to my YouTube channel and if you find any one of the replays and you click the playlist, you will get all of them. So if you have just joined, you can go and explore the past ones that we did. We did one on conflicts and relationships, one on forgiveness, one on physical issues in our body. So there is a lot. And like Vandana said, you can just pick any one and work through it every single day. and you will start clearing stuff for yourself. So thank you, everyone, and see you next week. Bye.
Nilu, pinging you directly, as I know that I did and I haven't responded, but stuff was going on. But I will be in touch today or
Sure,
tomorrow.
sure.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Nilufar. Thanks.